Welcome to my lesson. I'm Kevin Foster. I'm going to be showing you how to remove an element from one picture and place it in the background of another. For this video, I'm going to be working in Adobe Photoshop CS6 here. So we want to open the file that we're going to be taking out of its background. So that's this pile of rocks here, and we're going to be clipping this out, masking this out, and placing it onto the background of another file. So really the first thing that we want to do is this background layer here is quite limited. A background layer by default is locked. There's not a whole lot that we can do with this layer right now. We want to open this up and turn it into a regular layer. Now to do that, we just simply double click on it. You'll get the layer options will come up here where you can name it. In Photoshop full version, you can color the layer as well, or select a different color blending mode, opacity, and we don't need to change any of that, but what we will do, we will rename this layer. So we'll call it foreground, and click OK. And now see the lock has disappeared. This is no longer a background layer, where it's a regular layer now. So that's great. So we've created a layer, and now what we want to do is to put a mask on it. This here is add a mask. So we've just that's what this is here. This is a mask for that layer. So how masks work is this is basically another image. It's a grayscale image, and it's when it's colored white, everything is visible through the mask when it's colored white. When this is colored black, there's nothing visible. It becomes invisible. So the next step here is if we start masking out this area, what happens is, and what you can do is you can grab your brush tool. You can either press B or you can click on it here, and we want to start painting black on there. So if you switch your foreground color to black, or click on it, and you can select the color, select it as black, and we'll increase the size of our brush here. We'll increase the size of the brush, something that we can see. Let's do around 300 or so, and enter. And if we start painting, we see this checkered background, which makes it kind of hard to see where we've masked out. I mean, we can see it, but once we start getting into the finer details, it makes it a little bit more difficult. So what I like to do is I like to put a bright color underneath this layer, so that we can really see what we're masking out, what's underneath of what we're masking. So what we want to do is, this button here is a fill or an adjustment layer. So if we click on that, what we want to do is add a solid color. So we're going to do that. Add a solid color. We want something bright, something that really shows up through the through the image when we're masking it out. Now, because this is an adjustment layer, we can always go in, double click that, and we can change the color. And you can see it's changing it here. It's changing that layer. It's an adjustment layer, and that's how solid color adjustment layers work. If you're finding the green isn't working, we can change that to red, or blue, whatever is going to work. So let's start with this green. Okay, now we'll start with that green, but we need it underneath. So click and drag it underneath your foreground color, the foreground layer. So you can see, as you can see here, where we've masked, now you can see right through that layer, we can see the green layer underneath. So go back on our mask here, and we're going to continue to paint out that background.